All right, we have more calls, and let's go ahead and take this call that comes from Angela. Welcome, and your question.
I have a question in reference to if you've been in a car wreck and you didn't go get treatment or see a doctor afterwards because you actually caught the flu and was sick, and it took about a week or two to go to the doctor, will you still have a case to fight if against the at-fault insurance?
Angela's call.
Yeah, so I think what she's asking about, there was a delay in her treatment,
Okay,
and
that's what it
she
was.
needs to get to the doctor. You know, obviously she went after a week. Here's the problem, and I've heard this line. It's one lawyer, defense lawyer in particular, I'm thinking of, but he's going to say if he had a case against her, if I'm hurting, I go to the doctor. What about you? And you know, most people say, well, yeah. So if you didn't go to the doctor, you must not be hurting that bad. It's not true. There's a lot of reasons why you may not go to the doctor. It may be expensive. It may, you know, you may have to go pick up your baby from daycare. There might be reasons. But as soon as possible, you need to get to the doctor because the defense will use that delay. Listen, it doesn't matter if it's 2 days. They'll say, well, you should have gone a day before. It doesn't matter if it's 1 day. They'll say, you should have gone hours. It's always going to be too long, however long you wait after the wreck. It's just another hurdle or excuse that the insurance company will put up to try to say you're not hurt, even though you know and I know and everybody knows you really hurt. Because most people don't go to the doctor unless they're hurt. But it's not something you want to do, but it's very important because it's not a gap in treatment, it's a time without treatment, but it doesn't mean you're not hurt. And then here's the other side. They're going to spin it if you go too much. They're going to say you're just trying to run up bills. And so you got to get a lawyer that knows all these things. I used to work for insurance companies. I know all their tricks, okay? And you need somebody that's going to fight for you and make sure you get your claim handled.
I always learn a little something all the time with that. Now, when it comes to how attorneys get paid in situations like that, can you talk a little bit more?
Sure.
I know we haven't talked about it, but just in
Yeah,
like
you know, most personal injury attorneys that I know that get paid, it's a contingency basis, and what that means is somebody that's hurt that can't work, can't provide for their family doesn't have to pay any money up front. We're allowed to pay for reasonable expenses, things like depositions to retain experts, and then at the end, if we're able to recover for you, we are allowed to get a percentage. And what it does is it lets people that are catastrophically injured, that can't work, can't eat, can't do any of that, to get someone to go fight for them. And then if we recover, yeah, we do take a fee at the end.
all right. Okay.
And you know what we never talked about, the flip side, how does the defense get paid? They get paid by the hour. And what it does is, that's fine, it's still, you know, everybody's got a job, but it does sometimes foster a system where the defense will bill and run a case for years and years and years to kind of run the clock, because they're rewarded for the more time they spend on a case, as opposed to, we want to get the case resolved quickly, just like you do.
Yeah, and that with an attorney, someone like you can speed up that process.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we
Okay,
always
you
can do it a little faster than
Okay.
just an individual who does one case in their lifetime, yes.
All right, okay.